If you were to ask me the best high-end TV to buy in 2021, this is it. The LG C1 OLED has it all. Amazing picture quality, cutting-edge features, especially for gaming, and sleek style. Sure, it's expensive, but for the complete package, no other TV at this price comes close. Let's take a look. The C1's stunning picture is what you're paying for. It uses organic, light-emitting diodes that create perfect black levels for infinite contrast that outdoes any QLED or LED TV out there. Sure, those TVs might cost a little bit less, but at the high end, they're really close to this OLED TV, and it really does look better. This TV also has excellent off-angle and a bunch of other picture quality features. We'll get to those in a minute. Compared to the superb CX from 2020, LG didn't change much. It says the video processing is improved, but in my comparisons, I really couldn't tell the difference. The set does have better gaming features, however, and that's really the main improvement. But before I get deeper into the gaming or picture quality features, let's talk about styling. This TV is super thin. OLED allows it to be thinner than any LCD TV out there. So if you put a pencil up next to it, for example, you'll see it's even thinner. There is a thicker area below the panel. That's where the inputs and power supply are housed. But overall, this TV really slick. From the front, it's almost all picture. LG's stand goes almost the complete width of the panel, as you can see here. And around back, it has a weight, so the thing is very stable when it's on a table. Of course, you can wall mount it if you want. From the back side, you can see it has a white color that's different from what we've seen in the past, but overall, really similar to LG's motives. Of course, a lot of people are going to wall mount the TV, then you won't see the white back or the stand. It's almost entirely picture. LG's remote is a little bit different from last year. There's a ton of buttons and the ability to control other devices. I also like the motion control, which allows you to whip it around on the screen. The remote's a little more complex than competitors with plenty of buttons, and there's a bunch of shortcut keys to streaming services as well. The C1 also has 3 built-in voice assistants, including Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, and LG's own Think service. So you can press a button on the remote and summon any of those at any time to execute commands like turning on and off the lights, searching for content, and what have you. Let's check out the smart TV system. Pressing the home button on the remote fills the screen with LG's latest WebOS system. You can see there's a lot of different tiles on here, plenty of content, including a trending now aisle right here that's right above your app list. This TV has a lot of built-in apps, but not as many as Roku or Google TV powered televisions, and I really don't love this huge menu that obscures the picture. Of course, you can scroll down and get a lot of suggestions for different services like YouTube, Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, etc. But all told, this is one of the more cluttered and less relevant systems that I've used. Of course, you're not going to worry about this system if you connect an external streaming device like a Roku or an Apple TV. Now, one thing I do like about the C1 is there's plenty of options to adjust the picture. You can go into the picture menu and choose from a bunch of different picture presets and dive a little bit deeper and get plenty of control. There's a filmmaker mode and a cinema mode, both of which I found really accurate in my comparisons. So all that stuff is pretty standard, but let's talk about something that isn't, the C1's gaming features. Yeah, this is pretty much my new favorite gaming TV. So let's start with the inputs. They're more capable than most competitors in that all 4 HDMI are HDMI 2.1 compatible. That means they can handle 4K 120Hz input, which is the highest you can get from the current PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X consoles. They also work with high-end PC cards, so you can actually connect all 3 to this television. Of course, the inputs also support variable refresh rate, and one supports eARC, which is the enhanced audio return channel for use with new AV receivers. So that's the inputs. But where this TV really shines for gaming is its new Game Optimizer mode. It starts with this status display, which is really cool. It shows you all the basic stats you need about gaming for those high-end consoles, including variable refresh rate status, the current frame rate status, as well as the picture mode for gaming, and even whether the TV's in input lag reduction mode. So all those things are great for gamers to have at a glance on this television. I really like that feature. You can dive deep into Game Optimizer and play with pretty much any setting. There's various genre-based picture modes for gaming, including first-person shooter, strategy, etc., that tweak the image a little bit. I still like standard best for most cinematic games, but FPS works really good if you want to see into the shadows and detect your enemies. Of course, this TV has excellent input lag for gaming, around 13 milliseconds, and there's a boost mode where you can reduce it even further, although that's a little bit limited in your inputs. In my comparisons, gaming was excellent on this TV, as good as any as I've seen, so all told, between those features, input capability, and general image quality, it's a superb gaming TV. So let's talk about that picture quality comparison. For this review, I set up the C1 next to a TCL 8K TV, as well as the C10 from last year. Let's start with the TCL. Compared to the TCL, the LG C1 was definitely better. Yes, the TCL measured brighter, and you could see that in some really bright HDR material, but all told, the contrast and excellent black levels of the C1 let it really improve image quality. Wondering about 8K? Yeah, there really wasn't any detailed difference that I could see between the two TVs. In fact, at times, the 4K OLED TV actually looked sharper. Of course, color and off-angle were better on the OLED TV, so again, overall, a step above the TCL QLED TV despite its excellent full-array local dimming backlight. Now, compared to the C10 from last year, it was much closer. Yes, I did measure the C1 as very slightly brighter, but again, when watching program material, anything I couldn't really tell unless I put up a meter and measured them both, and again, the very slight advantage went to the C1 from 2020. The two TVs were also very close in other aspects of image quality, including video processing, despite the C1's better processor on paper. All told, the C1's main advantage against the C10 from last year is its gaming features, but otherwise the two are really similar, and if you can get one at a lower price than the other, that's what I could recommend. One big difference between the two series, though, is that LG did add an 83-inch size. That thing is gigantic, and of course a lot more expensive than the other sizes in the series. There's a 48, a 55, the 65 that I reviewed, as well as a 77-inch size. They're all relatively expensive, but again, compared to the QLED TVs out there, especially at the high end, you're going to get a lot better picture. That's a quick look at LG's C1 OLED TV series for 2021. I'm David Katzmeyer for CNET.